Hollywood Bulletin presents a look into one of the most surprising and often misunderstood falling outs in Hollywood history: the unraveling of the legendary friendship between Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. Known as two of the most charismatic members of the Rat Pack, Dean and Frank epitomized the glitz, glamour, and effortless cool of mid-20th century show business. Their bond was not just professional, it was deeply personal. The two crooners toured together, partied together, and even confided in each other during some of the most pivotal moments of their lives. But in the twilight years of their careers, something changed, and the once inseparable duo went their separate ways. Many fans were left wondering, what really happened between Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra? The truth is more nuanced than rumors have led on. Their friendship began to show cracks during the 1970s and 1980s. The major turning point came in 1988, when Frank Sinatra invited Dean Martin to participate in a Rat Pack reunion tour called Together Again, alongside Sammy Davis Jr. Dean, who had been mostly retired and grieving the tragic death of his son Dean Paul Martin 2 years earlier, reluctantly agreed. Sinatra, ever the perfectionist and high-energy performer, wanted the tour to be a polished revival of their golden years. But Dean was emotionally distant and visibly worn down. He had grown tired of the spotlight, and his heart wasn't in it anymore. The contrast between the two was stark. Sinatra was still sharp, commanding, and determined to deliver a great show every night. Martin, on the other hand, struggled with low energy, rarely engaged with the audience, and appeared disinterested on stage. Their dynamic, once filled with chemistry and camaraderie, felt forced. Within a few performances, it became clear that Dean wasn't going to make it through the entire tour. He dropped out after just a few shows, and Sinatra was reportedly furious. He felt abandoned by a close friend and humiliated on a public stage. But Dean's departure wasn't fueled by malice. It was grief. Losing his son had left him shattered, and he simply couldn't go on pretending everything was fine. He had lost the spark for performing, and the reunion tour had only made it more apparent. Instead of understanding this, Sinatra took it personally. According to close associates, Sinatra tried to reach out to Dean several times afterward, but Martin had already retreated from public life. He began to isolate himself, spending most of his final years alone or with a small circle of friends, rarely venturing into the limelight. Despite their falling out, Dean Martin never publicly spoke ill of Frank Sinatra. And while Sinatra initially felt hurt and disappointed, he also never lashed out in public. In fact, after Dean's death in 1995, Sinatra was deeply affected. Friends close to him noted that he regretted not repairing their friendship. The pain of unfinished business haunted Sinatra until his own passing in 1998. So why did Dean Martin cut Frank Sinatra out of his life? It wasn't scandal, betrayal, or rivalry. It was grief, exhaustion, and a quiet desire for peace in his final years. Their story isn't just about the end of a friendship. It's about the cost of fame, the weight of loss, and how even the brightest stars can burn out under the pressure of public expectation. Thanks for watching Hollywood Bulletin. And if you found this story compelling, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on your favorite stars.